process. I think that's a good
Ooh.
one. Where like, yeah, being able to do that thinking to understand where work needs to be done, how work needs to be done, or should that work be done at all.
At all. Yeah. I think, and actually, I saw someone said Git, and yeah, of course, the technical bits are important,
Yeah.
but technical
good
skills can
technical
be learned over time, right? But it's those soft skills, the things that make us inherently human. Yeah, the things that make us inherently human, the things that make us nice to work with, the things that where people are like, wow, yeah, they did great work, but wow, they're such a good person, and I really appreciate how they do blah blah blah. It's the soft skills, and soft skills are actually really
They're
in
hard.
demand
I don't know why
right
they're
now.
called soft anyways, because they are hard. That's
Again, I call them core skills because
Core skills.
like you could call it hard and soft, but I feel like soft diminishes it almost.
It's true.
They
agree.
really are core.
But they're also really in demand. So I wouldn't discredit them. Communication, critical thinking, being able to reason, being able to write. When you think about the technical skills, such as like prompt engineering, right, which is so inherent today, it's all communication.
There was actually a wonderful conference series that was actually put on by our teammate Kevin for many years called You Got This. And I'm actually going to put a link into the chat where this is the archive, because he's no longer running this conference series, but it was just a core skills conference for tech people. And so it was all about like growth and learning and management and like well-being in a technical environment, technical writing, that sort of thing. The library of videos that he has on this webpage, it's at yougotthis.io, but it redirects to his blog here that I linked. A gold mine of content. And I highly, highly recommend going there and checking it out because it's great.
Cassidy, do you want to share your screen? Or
I was just sharing the URL here, but I'm happy to share the screen as well. One second. So yougotthis.io. It's on. So Kevin is our coworker who ran the conference. So he moved the archive to this webpage right here.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he has different categories. You could skip to it and see like all of these videos. Look at all of these videos. You have transferable skills, changing career paths, understanding equity and compensation packages. That's huge. And there's communication skills, talking about active listening, cultural inclusivity, writing tech specs well, mental health, remote and modern work. There's so many good talks here. Truly, truly a treasure trove. Oh, hey, look, that's me. But
hello,
anyway.
I watched that. I remember. Did you do that for us before when you were a star? I feel like you did that for us internally at GitHub before you work at GitHub. Yeah.
Wow, I fully forgot I did that. But anyway, great talks. Awesome content. And once again, like there's so many talks, and that's how important these core skills are. The fact that there's I have lost count, dozens, hundreds of videos here just of these kinds of skills. There's so much to learn and so much to work on, and it's great.
I love this resource. I'm going to share it.
Yeah, it's again, you go to yougotthis.io, but it redirects to this page here.
It's incredible.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So yeah, folks, learn to talk and learn to write.
There was, I'll never forget, a senior dev who was drafting docs for a framework, and the Discord kept asking for video content instead. Nobody wanted to read anything. No. It's I feel like it's a cultural thing. I feel like I know that I'm old because I prefer reading a tutorial.
You know, I prefer both. I like all of it. I like listening, watching, reading, and doing.
Yeah, I love reading and doing. Like I'll watch to like know the vibes, but I don't know. I do not love watching a video on how to actually do something, because then I'll like pause, try to do a thing, rewind, try to look at this. I'd rather have it all just like in front of me. But once again, that's me being like, kids these days won't just read a book.
Free AI. Oh goodness. How are you guys keeping up with all this AI stuff? I fell down you were talking about rabbit holes earlier, Cassidy, and I fell down a rabbit hole this week where I had an initial question of how does one choose the right model to use? And then that led me to an LLM leaderboard site, which led me to there's an application someone created called the Timeline, the Blueprint AI, essentially the generative
Oh,
AI timeline. And in November 2025 alone, there were like, I think 12 models
Oh my word.
shipped, like 12 new models shipped. And so how are you keeping up with all this stuff?
I don't. I think that's the easiest answer. Where like I still try to build often with like whatever models pop up in my model picker in GitHub Copilot, where I'm just like, oh, there's a new one there. I'll try it. And then if I don't like it, I just won't use it again. Or if I do like it, I'll try again. Oh, thank you for sharing that timeline. I'll put it right here. And I think that's probably not the best way to go about it, trial and error, but I feel like there's not a more efficient way to go about it yet. But that's just for me. I don't know about you two.
Yeah, no, I don't is the answer too. And sometimes I feel like, oh, it's literally your job to know that,
Yeah.
but I'm sorry, like it can be.
Right.
I've been thinking a lot about being very selfish and fixing like my immediate problems. And
Yeah.
so that's made for a really interesting way of looking at like maybe I don't need to focus on every new shiny thing because there's a tested, tried and true way of doing something.
Right.
And instead of going down those, because I was doing this year has been a lot. I know this team knows that. They feel it to the core. But I was nurse sniping myself into building solutions for everything. And I'm like, what the heck am I? A one-person dev shop? Like, stop building things.
Right.
And I was taking the same approach at how I treated like the new models or any kind of new dangly, shiny AI thing. At the moment I stopped doing that, I think I've been a lot more productive because I'm like, remember, there is a tried and true way of doing that. Lean on that first. So that's stifling innovation, but just like, it's so hard right now because everyone comes up on Twitter every day and they're like, and this is the new thing. It's tough.
I saw a post once, and I would have to look for it, but it was just like something about like the joys of boring technology, where it's exactly what you said. Where like the tried and true ways, sometimes it's just nice to use that and get what you're trying to ship out, and stop trying to be shiny, edgy, just get it out. And I feel like that's very true.
I like that.
I agree. And also sharing is caring, my friends. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna share. Why not? Before this meeting, we had an internal meeting that our amazing colleague here, Kedasha, organized with someone who's awesome, Brittany, who's part of our team. She's not in our team, but she's unofficially in our team. I called her.
In GitHub.
But she's doing something that is really helping her improve her personal processes. And she like shared about it somewhere. Kedasha was like, what? Come tell everybody. We had this gathering kind of organized by Kedasha. Yeah. And oh my God, I walked out of that like, okay, this is great. I see a path for me to improve my own processes. So if anyone that's watching this right now is doing something that's really improved their quality of life using AI, please tell us. Please tell us.
Or just in any tools.
Or in general, exactly. Yeah. Yes, I love that. I love that. Kedasha, can you share that page that you shared about the model thing? I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I do want to see it. Thank you. Awesome.
I'll send it to you in.
I saw this comment where I can't tell the difference between most new models. They all seem kind of fine. And I think we have reached a point of models where a lot of them, the like, it's diminishing returns at this point. Like, it'll be a little bit better. And there's once a quote unquote spicy post that I wrote where I was just like, the model doesn't matter as much as like how you use it.
Yes.
I strongly feel that way.
Yes. I feel that way.
Did not publish it on official channels because I understand business things, but I feel that way. Like I think there might be somewhere like, oh, this is good, great, but if it's just fine, if it ain't broke, fix it.
And it's also
Yeah.
like, the modes. So there's so many apps, right? There's ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Copilot. Every one of these apps have access to so many models.
Right.
And all of these apps also has different modes, right? You have agents, you have projects, you have thinking models, reasoning models, instant models. And so I think if we instead focus on learning how to use a certain platform, we would probably get a much better output
I agree. I almost just
instead
knocked
of like,
my
oh, this
keyboard.
model's here, let's use it. It's
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I want to
Yay.
play with during Christmas break if I ever leave? I'm trying to leave y'all. Y'all leave too. Like take some time off during Christmas for those of you who celebrate. If you're able to take a couple of days off, do it.
I know, please
Um,
clarify leave.
yeah, leave meaning like take a
Take
break.
a good
Take a
vacation.
break. But take a break to do fun things. Like so I got like 2 things that I'm gonna do. Like one of them is I'm writing this short little master class on sort of building with agents thing. Like most of it's gonna be in Spanish. I'll share more about it later, but it's gonna be mostly for my own, again, because I'm solving my own problems. So started there. But the second one is I really want to dig into fine-tuning models. There is so many ways that there are so many products out there that are doing like really cool things. Because I think that's the future more than like this massive models that we're paying like a billion bazillion for, but more getting like really specialized. So I do want to do something that's very like just in depth personally and like technically complete and experiment with that next year. But to do that, you gotta like put in the time and do the thing.
That
So
this
I
comment
love
is
that.
relevant where I thought I love AI tools that help me know the cost of using one model over another for personal use, because most often my usage is very basic and the cheapest still works okay. Yeah. And yeah, kind of like what you're saying, like if you can change the cost or like fine tune it so you don't have to use every general model. Also, sorry, Andrea, you're kind of like behind the
it's okay.
you're hiding. But yeah, I do agree that like it should probably be baked in, but I feel like this is so true.
Spot on.
Here is a startup idea for one of you smarter than me people watching. Like build me a platform I can do this quickly with low effort. and I will pay for it.
Can I share a hot take?
Yes.
That like might be controversial to the project that you're talking about.
Yes, let's hear it.
If you need a fine-tuned model to do things, let's just say you're going into a legacy code base or something and you're thinking, I need to fine-tune a model for this code base or something. Is your code bad? Because if you're putting, and this again, it's a hot take question, because if you want a developer to join your team, for example, let's do the human angle. If your code is an absolute mess, how do they figure out how to onboard into your system? Similarly, if you put an agent into your code base, it should kind of understand what's going on. And if it can't, you could fine tune a model and stuff. Does that mean that you should be improving your code, the documentation, how things are structured, or should you fine tune the model?
I mean,
and I don't know if there's an answer to it.
No, I think it's an end. Like you need to document and make the code readable to an agent as it would be to your colleague. And also if you can lean into something that's more specialized. I don't know. I think it really depends. I had a conversation with a company from
I was going to say, it depends too.
Oh God, can we share that meme? I was at AWS reInvent, and listen, if you saw me there and I was like a maniac, it's because it's like a manic, like that conference too big, y'all. I mean, I love all of you, but 65,000 people in a place with no windows is why I sound like this today. But I was talking to a company they've been in machine learning for 10 years. It's like, this is all like so hype. I've been doing these things, right? But they have one customer and one customer only, and that is attorneys. And so they're like, like right now, have you seen the news how there's been people that have been actually like disbarred because they're taking these cases to court and they're like ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is like, in the case of Cassidy versus Kedasha, and it's like, what is that? You made it up completely. Right. So they're like, they have this very niche space and they're doing work specific to that niche with a lot of human oversight and a lot of expertise that you got to bring into that. And
Mhm.
I was like, aha, yes, sir, this is a use case. Like, so I think it
Yes.
depends on how,
Yeah,
like,
that's
what, I guess,
true.
what you consider specialized, like, because some teams are not going to be so the same. Also, we live in a
Yes.
bubble. Like, oh,
We
that's
do.
one thing I will
Oh
say.
my
Thank you,
gosh, we
Amazon.
do.
We do.
Because I got to see a lot of. I mean, I was talking to somebody from like John Deere. Y'all, tractors have software,
Tractors are smart.
and John Deere is a huge technology company.
Yeah.
And so, like for us, we usually think like developer tools, and we're more in this kind of bubble. But
Right.
there's a whole world out there.
That's
I was
very
gonna say
true.
the same thing too, Andrea. It depends on the context and the use case. So I think like legal, finance, medical, etc. I think they would need.
Medical.
Medical.
I think they
I
would need to fine tune the models. And there's
That's the
a
next
company
frontier
called
for sure.
yeah.
company called Trunk Tools. They just raised $40 million, and it's essentially construction GPTs, like
Oh, yeah.
yeah, like an AI platform specifically for the construction industry. And you know, they had to fine tune models for that.
That I understand. I very much posed this question specifying code bases, but yeah, these use cases make a whole lot of sense for sure.
Yeah, for code
For
bases,
sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Again,
you
it's
can.
it's an it depends question. It's like a
Yeah.
hot take question of like if I wanted to like rage bait someone on social media, that's the type of question I would pose. But like because it's
Do it,
it's
please. Do it and get paid a million bazillion. Do it.
Yeah, no, but it is it's a nuanced thing because in theory, like, yeah, someone should be able to jump into your code base and do things. You would want to be able to hire an engineer and do it. But depending on your code base, you might need a specialized engineer. If you need a specialized engineer, what does your code base look like? Similarly, do you need a specialized tool?
I do agree with that
Mhm.
because the models that are coming out, they all know how to code. You know,
Right.
per the SWE benchmark. You know, I'm
Yeah.
learning about the LLM evaluation stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's a whole world.
So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments? Let us know what you think. Do we need fine-tuned models in software engineering?
And it's very cool if you all just say, "You live in a bubble, stop talking about this." We think
I
about
love
this a
this
lot.
comment. What if my code base is so good?
My code is so good, that's why I don't write tests, because it's just
Who needs documentation? It's like basically it's the brilliance of it.
self-documenting. Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
Your eyes will bleed when you read it. I love that.
That's like there have been times where I'll say like, "Oh, could you comment certain things to some AI tool if I'm like messing with something?" And the comments will sometimes be so helpful and sometimes are so useless.
Mm.
Where it'll be like a CSS class where it's like turns the background blue and I'm like, "I can see that." It literally says background blue on the blue background class. That doesn't need to document. That's fine. If it's gonna be some kind of hairy regex, that's what I wanna know. I don't need to know, like, adds padding, I guess. Just, ugh, that
Oh, that's been my latest one of
Oh,
my latest
Cassidy.
gripes with some of the Sonnet models. And I don't know if it's changed, but there was a moment in time about 2-3 weeks ago where we were creating markdown documents for every little flipping thing. And I have some very specific instructions, but it was just going like, I don't care. I'm gonna write 20 markdown documents about this one thing that I just helped you do. And I'm like,
you don't have to. Yeah.
cease and desist. Cease and desist.
Yeah, where you have to tell it to not do something. So real.
That comment, put it back. I do
This
find
one?
this one. I do find that a lot of models are not good at using the newest versions of things. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is why we have things like the context MCP server. Pero, but. Yesterday, I used Gemini 3 Pro model with GitHub Copilot for the first time. And it not only used the correct Tailwind version, there was no there was no Tailwind error when I ran the application for the first time. And it also upgraded the Tailwind version I was using in my application,
What model?
which was
What model?
Gemini 3 Pro, the new one.
Really? Wow.
And that was the first time I've ever seen that a model do that, and I was very impressed.
You know, I actually my like test for the world. Also, I see devs. Hey Jeff, I see devs chooses to switch to smaller, cheaper models when the humans knows they're asking for really basic stuff like boilerplate and skeleton code. That makes sense. Boilerplate. I have one project that it's an app that I made for myself, but it is open source. I use it regularly, and I don't want to update Electron. It's made with Electron, and like I know that I'm just enough versions away that like there's breaking changes, and maybe this is where I should try seeing like could Gemini 3 Pro or some other model just do it. Because honestly, if it did that, I would suddenly become an AI fangirl. Because every time I've tried to do the upgrade by myself, it is painful and it breaks, and I'm just like, you know what? It works. I don't need to update it. It's fine. It's not the most efficient. It could probably be smaller, but it works. But yeah, maybe I could ask it to update.
I love that. Okay, I have a
Give it a
question for
go.
y'all then.
Okay.
Because this, and Kadesha, you just shared yours, but like, and also for you friends watching, like what's one thing that you've done recently with AI that you've been like, dang, like it kind of took you like, okay, it did that. Don't come with your stories of one-shotting entire applications.
Yeah, no,
one prompt because I'm don't at me. But what's the thing? What's the thing?
It was before I forget. It was this morning. I was on LinkedIn and I saw that Google just launched Prototype.
Yeah, their prototyping tool, right?
And I was like,
the stitching thing.
Yes, the stitching prototype thingy. And I was like, AI for design, how good could it be? Incredible.
Really?
I should make a video. I think I still have it up on my personal computer. But I was like, create a portfolio site for a creator who wants to pitch brands. I just was just being very random, and that was the prompt. It was incredible. The design, the not only the design but also the content, like the dummy content was excellent, the images were excellent, the flow was really good, and I was like, oh yeah, I would hire this creator to do something. I was impressed by that tool this morning, Andrea. That's the first thing I can think of.
I love that.
So I entered a game into the GitHub Game Jam. And I've talked about it on this stream before, but I
it's
made
so
a game using Phaser, and I'll start it. Actually, mute the audio. I don't know if the audio was shared there, but it's got a little Mona that walks around, and you collect different letters and stuff. And I've used Phaser as a game engine before, and so I knew generally how to do things, but there were some things that I didn't know how to do, and it was so nice to use agents and use AI for that. Where, for example, hitting escape or hitting the pause key here, this splash screen for the pause, that was AI, and I was so happy to do this because I focused personally on just like the actual game mechanics. So I was like, ooh, I want to like when I go to the goal over here, I want Mona to spin. Look, she spins. I did that. That was so fun.
So beautiful.
Being able to making all the maps, I did that by hand. Messing with a lot of different tools, I did that. But the actual splash screens and this how to play screen, I did not want to have to format things and do the mental math of positioning the text and stuff. It was so nice to not have to do that, so I could just focus on the fun parts of making the game.
This game is adorable. Can you please link it?
It's so adorable.
We can all play it.
Yeah. So did you create how did you get the animations? How did you build this up?
I did that. Okay, so I'll show you. Oh, and also you might have noticed.
Oh, by the way, friends, this is not an AI generated game.
Yeah, this is a
Cassidy actually coded this thing.
And I added this thing where you can click and drag with your mouse, or so you can play it on a phone. That part is not perfect. That one was also AI because I did like that. But that part was kind of nice too. So you don't have to use your arrow keys if you didn't want to, or if you don't have them. But so this game, I have to write my build blog for it, but it was very, very fun to make. And so the way I started it was I've made games before that honestly are kind of similar vibes. You can get art packs, like pixel art packs for games. And so for this one, there's a creator called Kenny, and I'll put this in the chat as well, actually, in case you want to see it. He makes just game assets for free, and it's awesome.
Oh.
And so you can say like, okay, I want pixel ones or I want 3D art ones. Like you can kind of see how this is a similar vibe where he'll give you this sheet right here of all the art, but then you can see the types of maps you can make with a particular sheet. And so I really appreciate just how simple all of his are, and they're all kind of uniform, so you don't have to worry about like mix and matching colors and everything. And so I went in here and I clicked pixel. And so the art that I used is a combination of Tiny Town here, where you can kind of recognize the grass from my game, and then the trees, like it uses the exact same foliage. But then for the actual animated walk cycle, that I nerd sniped a designer on the GitHub team to make me a walk cycle for Mona.
No way.
Because we didn't have.
Oh no, Cassidy.
Is it me? Oh.
No, Cassidy, you're frozen in the worst kind of way. Man, we screenshot it on time.
Oh no. Are we back?
Cassidy, it was so good.
I think we were all stuck because I think we were both wondering what was happening, Andrea.
No. Well, it's okay. That happens.
So once you get the pack, right? Yeah. Then what do you? I've never made a game before.
Oh, let me show you.
I'm so curious.
Yeah, I'm going to actually pull up the software that I use. So there is.
Maybe she was just making that face.
Dang it! I wish I saw it, but I'm also glad that I didn't. So what you do once you get the pixel art packs, there you could use a pixel art editor. You could use like a Photoshop. There's many of them out there. I'm going to show you what it looks like really quick. So 1 second while I put, you know what? I'm pulling up the repo for this.
Do
game.
it.
Okay. While you're pulling up the repo, Andrea, answer your own question. So what have you done? Yeah, what have you done with AI that made you? Yeah.
So it's first parter is actually shout out to the Gemini Pro model also, because for design things, like from front end things, has been like very nice. I've been slowly purpling all my things because I don't have a design aesthetic. I like things that function, but I don't think about it beyond that. So it's been goated for that. But then also I recently started writing something personal, and I wanted to be able to put it out in Spanish as well. So do it primarily in English, but also in Spanish. So I wanted to do another site to maintain the Spanish versions of what I'm writing. But then I started to overcomplicate myself. Like I'm like, well, this could be an action that takes this and does this and does that. And honestly, all I needed was Copilot. Like that was it. All I needed was Copilot to like point the coding agent. I opened an issue in my repo, point the coding agent to the draft URL of where my English version is happening, and it will fetch it and scaffold a Spanish translation that I then go back in and manually, obviously, make sure it doesn't sound dumb. And then when I push it, it pushes to my site and it's all done. So like a lot of the things that I would have normally done manually, I would just like assign it. And I was trying to overcomplicate it with like workflows that don't need to exist. But because it's a preemptive thing, like I don't want to publish it before the English version goes out. Then I just assign the issue, and then I have this draft pull request ready for me to just merge. And then that's the website automatically. We had someone share one of their aha moments here too. And thanks for being here, CD Villar. Middleware for Vercel's Flag Explorer that allowed me to create local flags mimicking those I use with Launchdark in a framework that didn't have first-class support for flags. Nice. I like this. Spicy. Very good. It solved your problem. That's awesome.
Okay. I put the repo for this, and let's hope I don't freeze again because I'm afraid about this screenshot that people are talking about. But anyway, so this is what the final pack looked like, where you can see the letters that are on there on the side. If you look in the bottom right, there's the Monas where it's like it's the exact same thing, but with like the legs slightly moving and everything. And so once you have this, you create a map. And there's a tool called Tiled, and it's tiled like it's just called the Tiled Map Editor. Oh yeah, mapeditor.org is tiled. And in there you like paint basically with your pixel art. And so I have that open, and this is one of my maps. And so in here, like this is one of the maps from the actual game. I have different layers. So there's I'm going to actually hide some of the layers so you can see it. So the ground layer is literally just the grass. I squiggled my mouse around it. If I wanted to, I could change the grass in some certain way. Then I had an obstacles layer. Obstacles is anything that a player can't hit. And so if I wanted to, I could click this and I'd be like, oh, I want to have actually some more trees around here, or I want to turn it into a maze and do something like that. Anything like that. You can change it if you want. And so that's the obstacles layer. Then I had a water layer, and that's water that is also treated as an obstacle. A player can't hit it, but I had that separate from obstacles because you can cross the waves once you get all of the letters. Then the goal layer, where did it go? It's over here. There's a goal layer on each one where if a player ever interacted with the goal, they go on to the next level. And then letter layer, all of the letters that I put on the different page. Enemy layer, that's where there's hovercrafts and bombs and stuff. And then the actual player, which is a point where the player will spawn. And so every single map has this kind of structure. And I could add another one where like there's a layer of, I don't know, things, I'm going to call it. And I could say, okay, I want to be able to point players to where they need to go. So I could turn that into an arrow. And that arrow will go on if they turn on hints or something. And I could make it adjust or something like that. I could add a road where this pixel art pack has a road, and so I could kind of mess with it so it ends up looking like a proper road here, and then they can drive on that road. You treat the pixel art however you want. I had a bucket in there because I was like, maybe they could pick up water, and then there's a full bucket. You can do whatever you want with whatever pixel art pack you have. But what's nice about Tiled is once you have this map created, it exports it as JSON. And so you give your code your image of the pixel art sprite sheet, which this is literally just a PNG image. But you say in Phaser, the game engine, you'll say, okay, Phaser, this is my pixel art sheet. It is this many dimensions, and every single asset is 16 pixels by 16 pixels. So it knows the tiles and stuff, and Tiled, because it's aware of this image, maps everything in that JSON. So I could say, okay, I want you to render the ground layer. It will do the ground layer as JSON, the tiles in that sheet. So if, for example, I didn't like the way the Mona swimming icon looked when it was swimming at first, and so I just went in and edited the image, and because it was in the exact same coordinates as before, it just changed it in the game. If you wanted to change the letters to be blue, you just change it in the image and it'll change in the game because it's just referencing that coordinate in the image, which is really nice. And then from there, you can kind of animate through it, and I can walk through the code if you want. But
wow,
to your question.
I love that. Have you built a game before?
I made one other game, or I've made a couple games, but one other game similar, and it was called, I'm going to my own GitHub repo, 13 Potions. This was for a different game jam. As you can see, it's a very similar style to the other one because I used the Kenny assets again. This one was, you have to get 13 potions as fast as you can. And so you run around the map, but this one has ghosts that move, and if you hit it, it slows you down and you turn red. But it was honestly, I used so much of my code from this in my game purely because I remembered like, oh yeah, there was a layer thing that I had to do here. And AI was able to help me with certain parts where I didn't know how to do multiple levels and everything. And I ended up using React with Phaser. And so that's where AI was able to help me get through some of those issues.
I love that. That is so cute. And for folks who don't know what the game What's it called? Game off
A game jam. Oh yeah, the GitHub game
game
off.
jam. It's not a game off. Is it a game off or
The-
game jam?
A game jam is a hackathon for making games, and the GitHub game off was the hackathon for games that I entered with this, and it's cool. If you take a look at the entries, there's such great ones. Everyone is like scoring and rating the submissions now. I've been playing so many little games that people have made for this, and they're so good. It is really fun to see how people took the theme was waves, which is why my game was called Code Wave. You cross the water, but people did, like sine waves, sound waves. They did like waves of water. They did like waves of enemies. It was really cool how they interpreted the different the different ways of the theme, the meanings of the word.
I love that.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at all of those. Those are so cool.
They're so
Yeah.
Those of you who live in Twitter more than me, sorry. First of all, sorry you live in that hell. But second, I've been scrolling through my history trying to find this. There was a designer who published their portfolio they've been working on for like 2 years. This is something like happened this week or maybe last
Bruno
week.
Simon.
That's it. Gosh. Oh my God. I've been like, why can I find it? Why can I see it? And it is absolutely beautiful. We need to get this man in here and to tell us what, how, and who. Because let me show
Wait,
you.
what?
This.
So he
This
made.
is-
Oh no, I'm frozen
no,
again.
no, no, it's happening. It's happening.
Okay.
This is his
Maybe my
portfolio
computer
website,
is struggling.
Kedasha. Look at this
3D browser thing. This is his personal website.
It's a game.
Wow.
And you can drive this car and do cool things.
That's a lot.
It's incredible.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Wow.
But like when
And
you
that's
go
a
to the
personal website.
you can like find his LinkedIn and stuff here. It's amazing.
Yeah, like it goes through a cycle of like days. Like you see how it got dark all of a sudden because you can go through like a full day. Yeah, it's so good, y'all. So good.
Bruno Simon.
Simon or Simon? I'm not sure.
Oh, Simon.
His website is so cool. Yeah, if you and then 3JS Journey.
3JS.
Yeah, I'll pull it up and share it. Is his course. I promise we're not paid by him. He's just cool.
Oh God, no! I just saw that and I've been wrecking my brain because I'm like, I hated that I didn't bookmark it, and I'm like, I wanted to like.
No, I knew exactly what you were talking about. He has a whole course on how to build exactly that.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's great. I've done like one lesson, but it's amazing and highly recommend.
I love that.
Wow.
I feel this is like oh no, I think now I'm frozen.
Yeah, when I go on his website I get frozen, so I had to close it.
Streaming is hard for computers, and
yes,
3JS is harder. So
this is like all my projects. Talk about it for a year, build it in 4.
Oh, we were just talking about how our side projects are all projects to help you do projects. Oh my word. We need to actually ship things, people.
I know.
But make it a part of our KPIs.
Don't let perfect be the enemy of complete or something.
Yeah, that is the problem, Andrea.
Somebody else made something else. What did you make, Brian?
What did you
use to make this? A Plex server status web app.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I wish we could click on the linkies.
Yeah, links are hard. You can't click on this from here.
I can't even copy. We can't even copy it.
But that's cool. So for those who don't know what a Plex server is, it's a place where you can like share media and stuff. It's originally for sharing your personal media, like friends and family videos type stuff. But then you can share whatever you want on there. And I'll let you listen between the words. You can watch whatever you want. But anyway, it's cool because people can self-host there's Plex servers and stuff. And so having a status page for a different Plex server, that seems really nice.
Nice.
That's very cool. That's very cool. That's it. That's the saying. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let compete be an membership. That's it.
You just need to ship things. It's so true. But I just love buying domain names and being like, that's good enough.
And
I
then the
love it.
dopamine high wears off and we're satisfied.
Yeah. Yeah. Where you're just like, it's almost like I built it. There was one app that I shipped a few months ago where I told myself I wanted to buy the domain name so bad. And I was like, no, I'm going to build this and then I will buy the domain name. And I waited and I shipped the app and then I bought the domain and it felt incredible. Will I learn from this? No. But in the time, it was amazing.
Incredible.
Very cool. Oh, thank you, Brian, for sharing Brian shared the URL. I went looking for your LinkedIn post and I found it, but
Nice.
thanks for sharing the URL. This is cool. And today we learn what a Plex server is.
Yeah. Oh, you need to pronounce Bruno Simon's name in French. Oh no, I don't speak French.
Bruno Simon.
There you go.
Andrea.
Perfect.
I can't.
Oh my word.
I can't with myself. Okay, and then there was another comment down here that reminded me of Josh's whimsical animation class. Ooh, what is that? That
Yes.
sounds fun. What is that?
Josh Kumo, another French last name, his courses are lovely. I can totally recommend those. I was like a beta tester for his React course, and it's kind of like what you were saying before, Kadesh, how you kind of like a combo of things. It was written, it had videos where it needed, and then it also had an interactive note thing where you could take notes on like things that he wrote or things that he said and save it per lesson. It was great. I know. I also don't need more courses in the backlog. I have so many untaken courses, but it's kind of like how like buying books and reading books are different hobbies. It's the same thing. Buying courses and taking courses are entirely different hobbies.
Building apps and shipping apps, different hobbies.
Buying domain names and using them.
Different hobbies.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Anyway, it's a very lovely course. He did a really good job on.
Wow.
I love that. So for those
Developers
of
are
you
amazing.
I know.
who are aspirational, all my Udemy warriors out there. But for real, like, what are you two planning on doing some nerdy stuff if you do take time off? Like,
I have
anything nerdy in your future?
I have so many project ideas, Andrea. I have so many that I want to make.
Yeah.
But I also have 2 children at home, and that's a really big project. So I'm using them as an excuse.
And one that you must keep alive.
I know.
So yes.
Yeah, they don't exactly feed themselves yet. But I was telling Kadesha, I really want to play with making like more local LLMs type apps where it's like a desktop app that might use Electron or Tauri and make like a desktop app that uses an LLM that like does something well and privately. I like the idea of that.
Yes.
I've never made a local LLM based desktop app before. So I'm truly just like in the research point where I should probably stop researching and just actually start coding something, but that's a goal. I'm saying it now.
I love that goal.
That's good. Kedasha, you're gonna do something? Don't do anything, girl. So, by the way, somebody asked how Jamaica was earlier, and I missed that comment. Yes.
Oh
yes.
yeah, I went to Jamaica. I have not updated my LinkedIn fam. I'm sorry.
You gotta do it for the fans.
Do it for the fans. I mean, originally you were going on vacay, but that turned into like a humanitarian response thing. So you're absolutely queen for doing that. Amazing.
So Jamaica was good. My family is good. No worries there. But then we visited the western part of the island, and wow.
They were really hit bad by the hurricane.
It was really bad. Imagine waking up and your entire house is gone.
Awful.
Like not even like nothing left, just everything gone. And so we were able to bring a lot of aid, thankfully, because I think we raised like $4,500 in like a
Amazing.
Oh,
week.
that's so great.
And so we were able to buy so much food
So
and
great.
supplies. So much so we gave them this big old bag when we got there. We supported 5 families specifically, and we're also supporting them again, like right before Christmas. They're gonna get like another bag of goodies from the same box that we brought. It was a lot of headache to bring the stuff. I won't talk about the logistics.
Shipping is
But-
terrible.
Oh
my
but
word.
Jamaica, it was good. It was good. It was good. We also got to meet a politician.
Oh.
Did a photo op. We did a video.
Oh wow.
That's
For the
amazing.
whole thing, and it was cool. It was cool, but it was sad. It was
Yeah.
people lost everything.
You
like,
did your
everything.
projects for a while. You don't have to do one over Christmas.
Yeah, for real. Just chill. Just relax.
Honestly, I just want to be a content creator. Just get back into it. Get back to having fun on the internet.
I miss having more fun on the internet.
Yes, because the internet is our job. That's why.
It feels like it became a slog to like talk with other people online and stuff. And
Yeah,
I don't want to adhere to an algorithm. I just want to like make things and
I know. I
gather
just want to
people.
talk.
Mm,
But
so true.
But fun things over. I'll honestly just rest and clean my house.
Yeah. That's real. Something pro tip to anybody who needs to get things off the floor. We got like an off-brand Roomba, one of those robot vacuums. You have to get things off the floor or it'll eat your clothes or your stuff. That has been so great in our household, especially with a toddler at home where she's like, oh no, he's going to eat my toys. And I'm like, yeah, so you better clean them up. Amazing. My house has never been cleaner. Like it's so nice to just like, I run it like not daily, but often. And you can like put in a schedule or put in like what rooms you want to do now. And it's so nice to just say like, well, we call it Wally, like the Pixar character Wally, because Wally the earth. And so I'm like, Wally's gonna clean things, so you gotta get stuff off the floor. Our house is getting so much better, y'all. I recommend it. It's great.
That's cute.
I like that.
What about you, Andrea?
What I'm gonna do? Well, hopefully
nothing is the answer. The answer is nothing.
Hopefully nothing. I am so behind on all the getting to the Christmas mode things at home. So I need to get through those list of things. But other than that, I am gonna work on this little side project of the little class. So hopefully I start the year with some content that's fun for me. And then I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I just want to sit on my couch. And my husband brought this coquito from Puerto Rico. And for those of you who don't know what coquito is, you need coquito in your life.
What is
I just want to like sit and stare at my tree with a glass of coquito in my hand.
Yes,
that sounds nice.
Do that.
I was gonna offer you a solution to needing to get into the Christmas mode. Hire somebody.
Yeah,
that's solid advice.
That should be a gift to yourself.
That is solid advice. You are not lying.
Whenever I get a house cleaner, I'm like, why haven't I done this?
Yes, you can't do everything.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with life, y'all.
Yeah, no.
Like, for example, in Jamaica, you know what I did in Jamaica? Nothing.
I love that.
It's nice.
You know, like apart from like packing and
apart from like helping people's lives.
Yeah, apart from all that stuff. But nothing. We did nothing. I woke up, my grandma cooked breakfast. And then lunch, my grandma made lunch. Dinner, my grandma made dinner.
It's the best.
And what did I have to do? Nothing. But just enjoy the heat. It was quite hot. And just relax and do nothing. And it was incredible. But one thing I learned from being in Jamaica, every time I go to Jamaica, I realize this. Generational living, we need to get back into it. We
I've
need
been
to
saying
get back
the
into
US
it.
needs to be
What do you mean,
better
like village, like
being
families living together,
Yes,
closer
so my
together?
mom and my
Yeah.
grandma lives together, and my mom works, and my grandma's retired, and she's home. She's a chef, so she loves to cook. So my grandma wakes up very early in the morning, and she makes breakfast, she makes lunch, she makes dinner in one go. So by between 10 and 11, she's done for the day, and she can just relax. And then when my mom comes home, she has food, it's clean, you know.
Yeah.
And then we come home, and we have to do everything. Todo.
Yeah. It's a thing. And I've seen so many like articles about it and stuff where it's like young people are starting to form communes. But like it's
Mhm.
kind of a thing. Imagine if you lived with like a bunch of people in your general age range and like it's kind of co-parenting with a bunch of people. Someone takes on chores at different points. Everyone gets to have a date night on occasion without feeling guilty. People should live nearer to each other in the US and
I love that.
Yes.
Y'all, if you
Are
one
we
day I disappear, like a couple of things need to happen in order for that to happen, okay? But if one day you're like, where'd Andrea go? Andrea gonna join. I'm gonna post it from our main chat. I'm sorry, GitHub people, you're like, what
No,
is
it's
this?
fine.
But it is a project. This is actually one of the lead maintainers for she might have even worked at Electron, but she also worked at GitHub at one point. But this is creating that walkable city commune type concept, and they're all like engineers and
Wow.
thinkers, and it's called Edge Esmeralda. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with that. I applied for it. They do like these month-long gatherings, but they're building a community like that in California. So
Whoa.
FYI,
You know, I have heard of things like
there
this.
will be signs. If one day you're like, what happened? Come find me. You'll have to walk there because there'll be no cars allowed.
I
Listen.
even just saw someone on like it was like on TikTok or something the other day where like these three groups couples, they were like, what if we all just got houses in like the same cul-de-sac? And so they
Yeah.
all became each other's next door neighbors.
Yes.
And it sounded so nice where they were just
Yeah.
it's nice to be walking distance to your friends and have that like set of humans that care for each other. I feel like we're a very individualistic society, and this is becoming a
Yes.
very philosophical live stream. But
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, friends.
yeah,
This is how I get in the holiday mode.
we're solving the world's
AI
problems
Now
right
that we
here.
solved
AI,
all the
AI.
software problems and the AI problems, and the do you really need a model, a localized model, a
Yeah.
fine-tuned model? We moved on to
AI agents.
solving the world's
Yeah,
problems.
agents are cool, but have you considered living near your friends?
I love that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Friends this late. Sorry, y'all. I came in here just yapping away and
Oh
completely
no,
lost
this
track
has
of
been
time.
Oh, this
great.
is great.
I also did notice the time though, and we should probably sign off and work.
Wait, there's one more. Hold on. This
Okay.
is work.
This is
Someone
work.
said,
Work. This is fine.
did you see the walking, talking AI animatronic?
What do you mean
Olaf?
talking? What do you mean? What do you mean walking?
No,
What is
yeah.
this?
Hang on.
So I wanted to AI Olaf?
Hang on, I'm pulling
Yeah.
it up.
I did not.
I saw the Amazon robot at AWS reInvent, and I asked the people that were there, could I fight it? And they were like, yeah. But then nobody had the headset on, so I just looked at it. And
Friends,
I
the robots are here. It's
Yeah, no,
it's
the robot, like,
crazy.
look at that.
what?
It's
No.
real.
No.
It's a tiny person in there. Stop it.
Hang on 1 second. I'm moving it over.
I wouldn't like that.
It's a
Look at
bit
the eyes. That's
hi.
amazing.
That's very impressive.
That's like a different level of like hardware engineering that I'm so fascinated with, but I wouldn't even know where to begin because it's so much physics. I saw a video once where it was talking about the physics of making animatronics, and it's like so much of like how do you make an elbow bend naturally and not just like open shut, and that's studying anatomy, that's studying physics and math and computing to put it all together. It's fascinating.
That's very cool. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah,
I like that.
So interesting.
That's very interesting. Look at it.
Well,
He looks so
Look at
real.
that. Yeah, no,
Wow.
it's like they're in the movie.
Let's all go have nightmares tonight. What's up?
Well, if I showed this to my toddler, she would be ravenous for this. He's real. It's amazing.
no thanks.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Oh yeah, no, if it were coming for me, I'd probably freak out. But seeing it on a screen and from the safety of my home,
At a
it's kinda
distance.
cool. Yeah.
I will say the one thing I hate is, so the first time I saw one of those robot dog things was in, oh, this is a GitHub stream, was in the Black Mirror show where the robot was running down people, chasing down people. And
Oh,
then I started to
I
seeing it
haven't
in
seen
real
it.
life, the robot dog things where they're
Oh yeah,
everywhere.
the what are they called? The Boston
And
Scientific ones?
yes, and I keep thinking about the scene that I saw in the show, and I'm just like, I don't.
You know, that show is not for me. I love a good chill rom-com where there's very low stakes. You know it'll have a happy ending. Hearing someone get chased, I don't need to know about that.
It looks just the same as the robot dogs,
Oh
though.
no. I don't
It's
know.
a little bit
Anyway,
terrifying.
Yeah,
All right,
robots.
my
it's
friends.
great. Welcome to the new world.
On that note.
Wow, we were very hopeful
AI
for the
and
future,
robotic.
and now we're not.
Yeah. Let's not live amongst robots, but live amongst friends. And on that note, communicate well. Use GitHub Copilot.
Assign the coding agent a task that you think, maybe I don't need to spend the time doing it. Do that little experiment for me today, honestly, because I think we burn so many cycles on things that are like, it has sufficient context. You are all absolutely 10x engineers and have documented your code bases so well that the agent is gonna look at it and be like, bet I know what to do.
Yeah.
Test it out for sure.
That's
And always validate the output.
Yes, trust but verify, baby.
Yeah.
Trust
Move
but
fast,
verify.
break things, write tests, make it work. But
I love it.
it's very, very real. And again, that's one of those things where you could actually ship something if you get over that mental overhead and use the tools, use the technology.
Yes.
I like
Well,
it.
There we
thank you.
go.
This was really fun.
Yeah.
Thank you both for joining me on this Rubber Duck Thursday. It was way more
Yes.
fun than doing it solo.
Thank you for inviting us.
And we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
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 Bye.